Well, it's time now for our international press review, and for that I'm joined on set by Alison Sargent. Hi, Alison.
Hi, Hexie.
Alison, you're starting with a lot of reaction in the UK to the arrest of Maxwell.
That's right, Hexie. Maxwell and Epstein are pictured on almost all of the front pages of the UK papers today. The headlines, though, are all about a third man, that is the UK's Prince Andrew, who has, Hexie, long been fighting off his own implication in this scandal. He is a longtime friend of Maxwell and actually did not even cut ties with her after Epstein was charged. As The Guardian notes, Maxwell's arrest really is ramping up the pressure on Prince Andrew. And as The Times notes in its headline, U.S. prosecutors yesterday urged him to come forward and talk to them. Prince Andrew has been in what The Times calls an acrimonious wrangle with U.S. investigators who say he's been refusing to answer their questions. He, though, insists that he's willing to cooperate. So there's a question that maybe Maxwell's arrest could finally sort of break this stalemate between the two.
Now, moving to France, where Emmanuel Macron, the French president, has been speaking to the press ahead of a much-anticipated cabinet reshuffle.
That's right, Hexie. This reshuffle was already in the cards ahead of France's municipal elections, but after Macron's party's very poor results, it became even more crucial. We're not sure exactly when it's going to be announced, likely sometime before next Wednesday. And there are rumors Macron could replace his prime minister, Edouard Philippe, but he didn't give a straightforward response to journalists in this interview. If you're interested to see what else he said, you can check out the entire thing. It's in Le Parisien and also in many of France's regional papers today.
Now, another president trying to paint himself in a positive light right now, unsurprisingly, is Donald Trump. He's set to give a speech at Mount Rushmore ahead of U.S. Independence Day.
That's right, Hexie. It's an incredibly controversial 4th of July event planned by the U.S. president. As we can see in this cartoon from Ed Hall, even the monuments for presidents are holding their noses there. They're not wearing masks, though, and maybe that's because, in part, masks and social distancing will not be required at this event, despite the fact that U.S. coronavirus cases are continuing to soar. There are also concerns about wildfires because fireworks are planned for this event, and Native American groups are particularly angry about Trump's presence at the monument. As the Washington Post reminds us in this article, the sculptor who designed Mount Rushmore was deeply involved in the Ku Klux Klan. He also built numerous Confederate monuments. There's also the fact that Mount Rushmore is built on sacred Native land, and some Native leaders are actually calling for the monument to be removed altogether.
Now, you mentioned it a little earlier, a lot of Americans aren't particularly happy with the idea of having to wear face masks, but there is one group that's embracing it. Who are they?
That's right, Hexie. This is nudists, somewhat surprisingly. The Wall Street Journal reports that many nudist resorts have made the choice to require face masks this summer. It has been a difficult change for nudists. One told the paper that nudism is really all about friendliness, and they feel that having to wear masks takes away from that. You can't smile at people in the same way. The main problem, really, though, Hexie, is mask tan lines, because if there's one reason that you go to a nudist resort, it's so that you don't have to have any tan lines after the summer holiday. Still, though, people are adapting, and I think it sort of begs the question that if nudists could adapt to wearing masks, well, does anyone else really have an excuse?
Well, indeed. Alison Sargent with a press review. Thank you very much.